This video is the biggest load of hoo-ha I've ever seen.
Hell yeah, dude. You're so good. You should show your friends this video and your teachers and shit. No, seriously though. Like, what do you do with the archived content? Like, with mine, I can at least post it and be proud, you know? The thing I like about actually playing the game is it kind of, like, lets me know when I'm awake or not. You know what I mean? It's like, earlier, like, about 2 or 3 hours ago, I, like, wasn't really into the simulation. Like, I wasn't necessarily, like, feeling it, you know what I mean? Now I'm definitely, like, into it. So, like, now's the time, like, where, like, people that are harassing, now's the time where, like, they'll push you around a lot more. Where, like, you've kind of, like, made it more your world. Kind of like made it your vibe or something like that, and then all of a sudden they kind of like, you know, there's the earthquake that rattles your foundation kind of stuff. It's like really sicko level stuff, and you can kind of see it demonstrated tonight if you're really paying attention to my stream. And it's not like so much that like, I don't know, I think more people need to understand that like what went on during the civil rights movement, like the harassment perpetuated on certain types of people, a lot of it was like really subtle, you know what I'm saying? Like just really like fuck with people on that level, and you can never get like the police to help you out or things like that. And I think that's one thing we should recognize as Juneteenth comes up this year. Like one of the most important things, just think of all the people that got like fucked with in like the 50s and the 60s and like the decades before that, and just how horrible people treated them, and how so many people have just like forgotten that like society used to just like push people around because people had power over other people, you know what I mean? Right? And we can't like, just because it's the internet, you can't start pushing people around again just because they're like different and shit like that. And it kind of like, it does get a little bit frustrating, but at the same time I know certain people are listening because they need some like fucking sound clip. But it's just the same stuff over and over where you're like, do I really have to go to the police? You know what I mean? Like, do I have to like figure out what to do to like stop somebody from doing the same shit over and over? Or is like someone else gonna step up? And I'm not even talking about Valve, I'm talking about like the friends of the little idiots who do that kind of stuff. But that's kind of like all I'll say. It's just grow up. But at the same time, if you ever want to be happy, you just kind of like, you have to actually like engage with people, you know what I'm saying? But like trying to get someone's attention with like harassment is just not okay. And it really does remind me of what went on during the civil rights movement, where like there's a lot of people that put themselves on the line, including Bernie Sanders, their reputations, their careers, to be like pushed down by people that have quote unquote power over them. But as we see now, like especially with Biden as president, like the racists don't have power anymore. They like to think they do in games like this to like impersonate people and harass them and like cheat against them, but really they don't have any power anywhere else. It's all just like fake stuff, you know what I mean? It's like if you're at least part of it, like if you participate in the simulation, like you just have to be aware that like there's a lot of stuff that can be done to kind of like mess with you. So you gotta be really careful when you play video games. You gotta like know what you're getting into, you know what I mean? Like whether you start a Twitch stream or you like show your face on the internet, you just gotta know what you're doing, you know? But then the other thing is that, you know, when you know people are like stream sniping, that's one thing. But then like combining stream sniping with cheating, that's a lot more insidious. Because with the cheating, you don't know who's actually programming those cheats, right? You don't know what countries they're coming from or like what kind of things they're supporting, so just the general vibe of harassment. Like I know a lot of people like equate it with like comedy and like haha stand up and like slapstick and whatnot, but there's still like the insidious nature of like, you know, if people are using cheats, then like what does that say about your computer interfacing with the server and like the things that you're seeing on your screen and stuff like that? I don't know, I could drone on for a little while, but I think just demonstrating that like it's not going to be a lot longer that people have power in the Team Fortress 2 video game. So like I know they're living it up and whatnot, but just recognizing that it's not that everybody has a soul. It's just that like I think some people will never have souls if one can be had. And the demonstration of the people without souls or who are never capable of attaining souls is quite striking in this video game. And I think looking for some kind of forgiveness or atonement is beyond some people at this stage, where like I think they just need to like move to Antarctica or something. You know what I mean? But like that's what I'm also talking about too, is that like now it's really cool because there's a bunch of people that are like really happy, right? So in a way, like in terms of the lost meme, some people are actually happier now, right? And all I had to do is like sit here with low volume headphones, just kind of droning on about just philosophy and like what do you really want to do with your life? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. I'm just saying, be careful out there, you know? There's a lot of people screwing with people in the virtual space. Whether it's Facebook or Twitch or like that one thug server, like just idiots that are just wrecking all the cool shit that got set up decades ago to make everyone happy in the free time. You know what I'm saying? Just stop destroying shit. Paint something, like watch Bob Ross. I also highly recommend everyone look into Title IX training. I think it should be required for everybody.
So, as many of you would know, I'm not actually an American. But as Icemanwest said, he recommends everyone do Title IX training. So today I'm just going to look at the Wikipedia page for it. So apparently Title IX is a commonly used name for a federal civil rights law in the U.S. It was enacted in part in the Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972. It prohibits sex-based discrimination in any schools or other programs that receive funding from the federal government. So, what I can basically get with this is, I think he's saying I'm harassing him because he's a woman, or what? Or a man? What?
But yeah, I'm just really serious. Like, I really wish people would stop harassing people and using cheats. It's just irritating. Whether it's both or one or the other, like, it still supports the kind of, like, activities that terrorists, you know, participate in. You know, just kind of like tearing down society. Trying to, like, ensure that they're always better than other people, even when they're not better than other people, or whether they might be equal with other people. You know what I'm saying? But you would also think in a modern day society that, like, that kind of behavior would be detected. You know what I mean? And I think in the future, like, simulations will be a lot safer, where you won't really have to worry about the kind of, like, stuff where you're just like, you know, I don't necessarily want to leave so much as I get. I'm just kind of making a point that, like, you can just chill around forever. People just keep coming at you, you know what I mean? Like, exploiting any kind of, like, loophole that they have. It's only myself that I have to blame. However, you can't blame me for complaining about cheats potentially being used, right? Potentially, I say, because trolling is on the rise these days. People are learning trolling in school. Did you know that? It would suck to be a teacher right now, with like students constantly like trolling with their phones and social media. That would be horrible. Don't do my team. Coming right at me, even when invisible. Yeah, but it's not a gentleman thing to do, nor would a cat do it. Cats are more chill than to stream and snipe. It's just not cool to stream snipe, you know? If I was a smart lawyer, I'd find a way to stop stream sniping. But right now, it's just a social problem, you know? At least the team knows now, right? This is usually when it gets a little bit better, where you're like, finally the team understands it. Because like, I don't quit, I don't move on. And they're just like, you know what? Yeah, let's give it a little bit more shot. Icemanwest might have been right, but since I'm not using voice or anything, it's just text chat is brutal. Look at that. Yeah. Just a terrorist. That's what I would say. Total terrorist. Get off my channel. Go away. I don't even need your views. Take them with you. I think maybe what I'm driving at in terms of this whole stopping cheating and like, you know, it's more of like, I think people at some point are going to have to authenticate who they are, at least to the corporations, because there is some level of like non-accountability with these accounts being free to play. It's actually interesting to think about it in the context of, I was going to be doing this anyway, but now there's like at least one human being fixated on me. That's kind of interesting. This must be what like a pastor feels like.
It's cruel and unusual.